Hi, I'm Jack Howell. There's a book that I have recently read. I referred to it in my last video, The Four Pillars, and I've been encouraging all of my students to buy it or at least check it out from the library. And yesterday I think I recommended the book to 3 separate people, so I thought maybe a quick video might be in order. I have read every book on practicing of which I've become aware, and I've largely been unimpressed. This book is different. It is by Molly Gebrian. It's called Learn Faster, Perform Better, A Musician's Guide to the Neuroscience of Practicing. The book contains some things that I've been recommending for a long time, and if you've seen some of my other videos and if you read the book, you will notice some congruence. However, there are also things that I didn't know or hadn't considered. The chapter on rhythm provides an example of both. I've always noticed that students tapping their feet can still somehow play out of rhythm. Even if their feet tap steadily, which they often don't, students are entirely capable of ignoring their own feet. Or worse, they tap their feet unrhythmically along with their unrhythmical playing. And so far as metronomes fixing rhythm goes, there's a video out there called Metronome, Friend or Foe. Anyway, I advise students to watch a major orchestra playing and note how many tapping feet they see, which is most likely 0. What they will see instead is upper body and head motion following the big pulse of the music or the phrase. So I encourage students to use subtle upper body motion like the pros do to anticipate the big pulse, to feel the bar or feel the big rhythmic unit, to play with the phrase. That's the important part, is to move your head. Many people move their feet absent-mindedly without even realizing it, but if the ground under you moves even a fraction of an inch, you're instantly aware. I've also encouraged students to walk for improving their rhythm, to work out rhythmic problems by thinking them or vocalizing them while walking, or even to play while walking. While I knew this worked, I didn't know why. As Gebrian clearly explains in her book, the part of the brain that responds to rhythm is wired to the inner ear, specifically the vestibular system, which is the same part responsible for our sense of balance. And there's an experiment described in the book when researchers put people in a rig that could rock either the legs alone or the head alone or the whole body. They found that rocking the legs alone did not excite the rhythm part of the brain. Rocking the head alone or rocking the whole body did. It makes perfect sense that our sense of rhythm would be in the same place as our sense of balance, because the combination of rhythm and balance is how we walk. And it explains why so many people nod their heads to music. But understanding the science behind the phenomenon, I think, is motivating. For another example, I always ask students, when learning a new piece, to resist the temptation to just play it, just to play from the beginning, to making mistakes, slowing down the hard parts, speeding up the fast parts. Instead, I ask them to identify the most difficult parts and create strategies to conquer them first. And this is one of the first things that Gebrian talks about in her book, the section called Good Practicing and How It Changes the Brain. It would be an unnecessarily long and self-congratulatory video if I just talked about all the things in the book, like mental practice, that I have been preaching. But there's also lots of stuff that I never really focused on and do pretty badly myself, like including breaks in practice and getting enough sleep. But having read the book, I'll try to do better. And it's hard to think of another book that has so much sound advice in one place. The book is all killer, no filler. Bottom line, if you are an aspiring performer or teacher, this book is money in your pocket. I would go so far as to say that if you do not read it, you're giving a competitive edge to anyone who has. As Rabelais wrote, There is nothing so dear and precious as time. The concepts and techniques in this book can help you use yours better. I have one further suggestion. If you buy the book, do your best to buy from a small local bookshop, assuming such a thing still exists. It may take a few days longer. It may cost a couple more dollars, but those dollars will keep turning in your community. Remember, we're all in this together. Thanks for watching.